Am I pro-black? Am I pro-black? Peace, family. This is Iyapo, and this is Iyapo Yapa. Iyapo Yapa is an acronym that stands for if you aren't pissed off, you aren't paying attention. I want to apologize for taking so long to finally do another share. I don't see myself doing like a lot of shares every day like some YouTubers do, and that's only because I spend a lot of time doing research and also a lot of time constructing how I'm going to put the videos together. There's one, the Reparations Part 2 is the one I'm working on right now, and that one's the trickiest one so far. I didn't realize it was going to be so tricky to do when I started doing it, so I do apologize for taking that long. I enjoy seeing everybody in the chat rooms though, and I just thank you for your support. And I will give a special shout out to S. Wiseman. You are such a inspiration, and you really, I appreciate your support more than you can ever know. And I want to let you know that I did watch the video at that link, and it's given me food for thought. At the same time, I've been doing some other research behind that, so I may have to make some alterations to the Reparations 2 video. And in addition to that, what is happening with John Conyers right now, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But as far as pro-black goes, in the past few days, I have seen a few YouTubers talking about being pro-black or just totally not accepting the designation. And it's kind of one of these type of things where people are coming down on one side or the other. I saw Sister Ajali's share, the Radical Home Goddess, on pro-black, and I'm pretty much in line with what she says. I commented on her video, but I will say on my own channel exactly how I feel about it. Now, pro-blackness. Okay, first off, I'm pro-black. I proudly accept that designation. I proudly designate myself as pro-black, because pro-black is a very specific thing. Pro-black just means that you are pro-black. It means that you are for black. Okay, you're for black people. And as I said on the Radical Home Goddesses share, just because there are people in our community who claim to be pro-black, but they do things that are anti-black, doesn't mean that us accepting that designation puts us or lumps us in that same category with them, or that we somehow sign off or co-sign with whatever foolishness it is that they're doing. Very, very simply put, if you are pro-black, then anything that you do will promote black people. Anything that you do will be a benefit to black people. If it's not a benefit to black people, then you're not pro-black. And the thing is this: if anything that you're doing does not benefit black people, you can call yourself pro-black all you want, but you are not pro-black. If everything that you do does not benefit black people, if anything that you do is anti-black, then you cannot, by definition, be pro-black. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't be an ally. That doesn't mean that you can't work for the cause. But being pro-black is an all or nothing proposition. You know, being pro-black is like being pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You can't be kind of pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. And being pro-black is the same thing. Either you're pro-black or you're not pro-black. And pro-black doesn't even mean militant. Pro-black just means that you are for black people. And anything that is against black people, you're against it. Okay, so anything that's for black people, anything that benefits black people, okay, anything that's positive toward black people, I'm for that, regardless of who is presenting it. Anything that is against black people, anything that is detrimental to black people, I'm against it. Okay, that doesn't even necessarily mean I'm against the person. I'm against what they're doing, however, if you're doing something that is against black people. Okay, and if you're doing things that are for black people, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm for you as an individual, but I am for what you're doing. Okay, does that make sense? Is that fair? Okay, so by that criteria, I'm pro-black, and I'm proud of that designation, and I won't let, as I put in the Radical Home Goddesses on the post there, I won't let anyone cheat me out of being able to designate myself that way, because I want that designation. I want to be known as pro-black. And I want my actions to show that I'm pro-black. All right? Now, along with being pro-black, I've heard a lot of talk about the code. Okay? So, and black people do need to get on code. Well, first off, we need a code, because evidently we don't have one. Okay, we need to develop a code of conduct, a code of understanding, and we need to get on that code and stay on it. Because guaranteed, everybody else within their own racial groups have a code, and they stay on that code. So what does the code mean? I'm going to give you a perfect example. I'm going to use John Conyers as an example. John Conyers is a representative who is fighting for us. Okay, he keeps proposing H.R. 40, and that is a reparations exploratory bill, which I'm going to explain in a little while. But he's fighting for us. What it means to be on code is this, and this is what black people have got to learn. Right now, there's this, this whole sex scandal thing, and it's hitting everybody. Matt Lauer is the latest one to succumb. But when it comes to our people, we need to, as I said in my reparations video, we need to become one-issue voters. We need to become single-minded thinkers. Okay, and if there is a black person, if there's a member of our community who is having some kind of trouble, then we don't need to ostracize this person in the interest of fairness or justice, because nobody cares about fairness or justice. Look, you have several gunmen that gunned down and slaughtered dozens of people at a time. 50 people, injuring 500, going to a church, gun down 26 people, and all this different stuff. And what happens? They refuse to even call the person a terrorist. That is called being on code. That's what being on code is about. You stick up for your race. It might sound bad, might sound ugly, but it's just reality. And our people need to wake up to reality. And this is one of them, as living in the United States. We need to be on code. And so in the case of a John Conyers, we need to continue to support this brother, because he's fighting for us. And when it comes to the H.R. 40 bill, I'm going to read what this says. and explain something to you about this. And I know I'm kind of jumping around, but I've been thinking about a whole bunch of stuff today. HR 40. It says, to address the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States and the 13 American colonies between 1619 and 1865, and to establish a commission to study and consider a national apology and proposal for reparations for the institution of slavery, its subsequent de jure and de facto racial and economic discrimination against African Americans, and the impact of these forces on living African Americans, to make recommendations to the Congress on appropriate remedies and for other purposes. Now, I want you to pay attention to what it says in the, let's see, like the second line. It says, to establish a commission to study and consider a national apology and proposal. You know what that's saying. See, John Conyers, he's working to try to push through, like a bill for reparations. But this isn't even about pushing through a bill for reparations. Have you ever gone to an amusement park where there's a very popular ride? And I'm just saying this because it's happened to me before. So I'm hoping that you can understand what I'm about to say. You stand in line for waiting in this long line to get on this ride. And then you get to the front of the line. Oh, thank God I'm at the front of the line. I'm getting ready to get on the ride. And then you see that you were actually in line to get into another line. That's how popular the ride is. You're in this line so that you can get in line. That's what HR 40 is. HR 40 is not even to carry on or to start reparations for us. It's to examine. Okay, it's to examine the effects of slavery upon descendants of enslaved Africans, and to examine remedies for the issue, as well as a national apology, which you can keep your apology. Just send me my check. But my point is that this is just pushing for an exploratory committee. In other words, you're in line just to get in line. Okay, you want a committee just so that you can examine getting to the second part of it, which would be the actual reparations process. And they've been giving him pushback against this, and he's been getting pushback against this for years. He didn't just propose this once or twice. He constantly keeps proposing this and keeps getting this pushback. In other words, they're saying they don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to talk about looking into it. That's why we need to get on code and stay on code. That's why we need to be single issue voters. Who cares about anything anybody else does? If you want my vote, if you want my support as an elected official or someone running for office, my one and only question to you is, what is your stance on reparations for the descendants of enslaved Africans? That's it. I don't care what you think about Bush. I don't care what you think about gay rights. I don't care what you think about immigration. I couldn't care less. What do you think? What is your stance on reparations for descendants of enslaved Africans? You answer that right, and then we can talk. You answer it wrong, we got nothing to say. Don't care about tax cut. Don't care about anything. Just that one vote. And let me explain the power of that. Back in the 80s, the Christian right got on this horse of being anti-abortion, which is fine. That's their business. But my point is that they became one issue voters. They started talking to these Democrats and Republicans and letting them know, all we care about is what your stance is on abortion. And if we like what you're saying, then we can talk. If we don't like what you're saying, then you can walk. That was their whole thing. And they grew into a power, and they started wielding political power. And the political landscape started to change just because of that. Because you had a bunch of people who got together single-mindedly and became one-issue voters. And that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. We need to support each other. We need to support black people who are for us, not just any old black person like Denzel Washington, which I mean he's not an elected official, but that's silliness he said earlier this week. No, come on, give me a freaking break. But I'll say that for a different share. We need to get on code. We need a code, and we need to stay on that code. We need to stop all of this infighting. We really do. We need to stop all this infighting. And understand what pro-black is. Pro-black. It just means that you're for black people. You're for the betterment and for an upward movement of black people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I can't tell grown folk what to do, but in my opinion, we shouldn't allow people who claim something but do something else determine whether we proudly hold that mantle. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I have another share I'm gonna do. This one I was listening to Lisa Cabrera today, and she said something that pissed me off so bad. But I wasn't pissed off with her. I was pissed off because I was so deeply in agreement with her. I was so in agreement with what she said, and that's gonna be my next share. I am working on. I want so much to give away the title of this Reparations Part 2 video, so you can understand why it's taking me so long and why I have copyright concerns about it, because I don't want to put all this work into it and then have it pulled down because of copyright. So just bear with me, but it's going to be a good one, and it's going to be a powerful one, I promise you. And I just want to thank all my supporters. You mean so much to me, and it's just I'm humbled by it. It's not like I have a million subscribers. I only have like 60 subscribers. I think I lost 2, but but even of that, I just I'm humbled by it that anybody even is listening to what I have to say. And my goal is to help our people. That's my goal now. That's what it's going to continue to be, and that's it. And so, again, shout out to S. Wiseman, because you really are one of my strongest supporters, and just bless your heart, sis. And this right here, I'm gonna do a review. This black, oh my God. I don't know if you watched The Radical Home Goddess or know anything about Sister Ajali. This black, I'm going to do a review of the book. I'm finishing the book. I've made some marks, bookmarks that I haven't written in it as much as I want to. But watch Gwen B's review of the book if you haven't seen it. It's a brilliant review, and it's spot on. The book is so good. It is an extraordinary work. It really is. If you love to read, you will love this book. But if you hate to read, you will love this book. And I mean that. It's like a movie in your mind. Really. I'll save it for the book review. I love you so much, family. I do. I love our people. And we're going to move forward. Because these white folks, Matt Lauer, Matt. Nope. So, and I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. But who am I? I love you, family. Like, subscribe, that little bell, hit that so that you can see when I upload more videos. And thank you so much for your support. And peace and blessings. This is Iyapo for Iyapo Yapa. If you aren't pissed off, you aren't paying attention. And I'll see you in the next video. And I won't make it take too long.